Good evening. I've done some other reviews of some of the other fruits I grow as a hobby on our farm, and one other plant I grow is jujube, also known as Chinese date, and I have 2 trees. I had 6 trees before, and that was more than I needed. And I'll start off with my first one I had planted. This is Sihong, S-I-H-O-N-G, and I'd say overall this is probably my favorite. I already picked a lot of fruit off of this tree. Some dropped to the ground, and we will pick those up and just let them dry. I actually have an old friend in his 80s that is from South Korea that really loves jujube, and so I have more than I need, and so I let him come over. He likes to help volunteer on my farm sometimes to keep active, and I'm trying to slow down and he's trying to get more active, so that's good. Maybe someday I'll have less work than I need and can work on becoming more active instead of less. But there's lots of fruit on them. It's just a medium-sized fruit. I'm not as large as some, but I like it a lot. And if you're not familiar with jujube, I suggest you give it a try. It's a very easy, low maintenance tree and very crunchy fruit, very sweet. I can't identify the flavor too much, except for one time my sister said that she thought it had the flavor of prunes, which at the time I thought maybe it did taste like dried prunes somewhat, but that might be largely because of the high sugar content. It's got one hard seed in the inside, but I'll just take one bite so you can tell from the crunchiness of it and the texture. And very sweet. The wood on this is very hard wood. There's some online sources that are way off base and say it's a soft wood, and they're crazy. That's not a subjective comment, that is fact. I know Persimmon is considered to be a very hard wood, and this is much harder. Supposedly Stradivarius made the pegs from his violins out of jujube. And I sent some pieces of wood of this to my friend Herschel in Georgia, who's making some great custom grafting knives, and he used it for his grafting knife handles. This other variety is called Shanxi Lee, and the fruit this year aren't too impressive. I mean, they're very large, but the flavor isn't as good this year. Sometimes I think it's comparable to Sihong, but this year not. This is not a very large one here. I know my friend John picked some of these the other day, so he might have picked the largest ones off already. But they can get quite large. So birds do go after them some. This one's not quite ripe, but you can see the size comparison to well, let me try to hold this up here. So they're quite a bit larger than Sihong. Both are good dried. With this fruit, I prefer to eat them when they're just ripe and not drying at all yet, and when they're crisp. If they're starting to get soft, they're really a mushy texture, which I don't care for, and then I prefer just to dry them. And once they're fully dried, then they're very good again. I think a great backpacking type food or whatever. Anyway, jujube is a nice carefree tree to grow. Thanks for watching.